Broadcasting live from the Sweetwater Sound Studios. Experience the Sweetwater difference. This is Spectrum 23.9. Your home for variety beyond boundaries. The following is a special presentation of the Spectrum 23.9.
All right, hello everyone. It's me, DJ Grammy John Graham, aka right here live in studio on this June 6, 2025. It's a little bit overcast out there in Fort Wayne, but we're bringing the entertainment to you guys. We're live on Facebook, as we always are. And to my right is Will Edwards. How you doing, Will?
I am doing great.
Awesome. Maybe it's just me, but it looks like you got a haircut.
Yes, I did do that.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
it looks good. It looks good. So, welcome to our show. We're live on Facebook Live. You can we're taking questions, and comments, and who knows, maybe maybe we will do the same thing, kind of what we did last time or last week. Where we took questions and did a poll on the Facebook, but we'll wait to see the comments come in. So if you come in, the chat, do feel free to say hello. Just kind of for the Facebook Live audience, I'm wearing a Ulster shirt from Hasman Hotel. And what are you?
I don't know what.
I think Rise Above. I think you have a Rise Above. I think that might be just a Rise Above machine, or it looks like a picture of mountains. Mm-hmm. So it looks like it's just a picture of mountains there. So we're live on this Friday, June 6th. Wow, where does the time fly?
Yeah. Speaking of flying, I heard there's been a lot of smoke flying into North America.
Yes. That is so true. I actually told Caden who I hung out with today that we are under a kind of a bad air advisory. So those of you that have asthma and can't really breathe well, today's probably not a good day to be out.
That is the main thing. I looked up the air quality. It was I think the highest it was at was 110, and usually the average here in Fort Wayne is between 30 and 50. But basically, if it's just over 100, it really only affects people that have breathing issues. For just people that breathe normally, you could probably get away with it, but it's not recommended to be outside too long.
No.
Yeah.
So, So as Will said, it is. If you have asthma, do take care of your health. Today, because although it does look like the sun is starting to peek out now. Finally, it's weird that the sun is just now starting to peek out. Which actually maybe we should since we're not really using this computer or this I'm gonna get this one set up really quick. So I'll do that at a break because but if you guys come back on Facebook Live for the break, we're gonna kind of get our second camera set up so you guys can see kind of what the ambiance is like here.
Something interesting about now we're talking about sun peeking through. Last week I actually showed John about how you close blinds and how each way you close it can have different effects. So basically, there was this video I saw. It was basically, quote, how you should be closing your blinds. And basically, it was a demonstration of where when the blinds are in a downward position versus an upward position. And if you live in a, say, sketchy area, you want to have your blinds upward. And the reason for this is because if your blinds are downward, the guy on the outside will be able to look down and they'll see inside through your window and they'll see what you're doing. Whereas if the blinds are upward and they're looking down, they can't see through.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting thing that probably would benefit all of you guys. So it ensures that nobody's trying to stalk you or anything like that, because that is a big issue, especially in like not so like populated areas. Which our area is not. So the office area really kind of is populated, it kind of is populated, because there's probably like a dozen offices in this area, like a lot like. Kind of like a lot like how, So, but speaking of which, we are looking for neighbors. There are a couple spots open, which maybe in the year we might be able to rent out a bigger space, but I'm not gonna push too much luck here. So just so you guys know, though, if you guys are just tuning in or watching on Facebook Live, or if you're tuning in on the stream and you want to see kind of how this is going behind the scenes, we're on Facebook Live. So if you are in the lobby, feel free to say hello. I remember back in the day on a place called Stickam, which is no longer there. In fact, if you Google Stickam, you're probably gonna find a bunch of adult sites. So I don't recommend that. But basically, they were friendly cam. You could basically do a friendly cam show. And I remember that I would do a broadcast outside on my deck. Like when the weather would be nice. So it's kind of cool. That we're getting back to kind of the live video broadcast, so you guys can kind of see how things are going. It kind of reminds me of how I heard about when Omegle was actually taken down from the internet, because while it originally was meant to be just like a chatting like with people website, it eventually basically it succumbed to more like predatory audiences.
Yeah.
And because of that, they had to take it off the website entirely. So it kind of like relates to that. It's like something originally that was meant to be innocent can sometimes turn out not innocent if the wrong people get involved with it. So,
and Jeff says, how are you guys? Thanks for the interview a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's right. We did do an interview with Jeff at the Disability Expo. Seems like, it seems like almost a month ago at the Coliseum. But Jeff, we're doing well. We got a very generous donation from the Weigand Foundation. And again, that's from Weigand Construction. It's really cool how Weigand is doing wonders, in the community.
I was actually going to say, speaking of construction, this might actually be a good time for me to talk about this, but basically, on Tuesday, I actually had an interview at a company called CCT Enterprises.
CCT.
Basically, to put it simply, it's a metal manufacturing company, and they offered me a position there.
Oh, awesome.
So we're still figuring out the details of what all I'd be interested to start with in the beginning, because what they plan to do is basically make me go on about a 3-month trial run and just kind of get the feel of the basics and understanding of how everything works.
Yeah.
And then after that, 3-month period, I can come to the decision of, do I want to make it a full-time thing?
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's definitely going to be interesting and definitely different, but definitely more on the higher level when it comes to jobs. You have the basic jobs, and then sort of more difficult jobs with better results.
Yeah.
So while it is going to be kind of nervousing at first, I think it will be beneficial in the long term, especially because when you get older, especially, you have to take on a lot of responsibilities with different kind of business related things, which I will say I'm not really the best when it comes to business. I actually failed economics class. Though admittedly, my dad, who's a banker, he's taught me a lot more about business than I learned in economics class.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, and you know, and honestly, that would be, so would it be more like hands-on, like, you know, like a, you know, like a more hands-on experience, for you?
I would say probably the main thing that's kind of will be different about this is mainly the machinery that's there. I've never been really good with technology and understanding how this works with that and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Usually I'm kind of more old-fashioned. It's like for example, here's a broom, here's dust, you sweep it, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Whereas with these machines, there's all these complex sort of parts, and that part works with this part. It doesn't work with that part because of that part does this part.
Yeah.
You know, it can be complicated, and that's kind of how I am. I like things being specific but detailed. It's like if you were to just say clean the wall, and it's which wall? How many? There's so many walls.
Yeah.
Or, for example, clean out the cupboard. Well, it's there's 10 cupboards in here, and what am I cleaning out?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It takes. I'm someone that needs details to better understand what I'm doing, because it's hard for me to really comprehend a simple just do this or
do that.
I also do have this tendency where I kind of never respond with yes or no because I feel like it's too little of a response, but sometimes it can be kind of unnecessary. I do get called out for it a lot. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not speaking about how much you would get paid, but what did they explain what you would be doing, and let me be more specific. Are you gonna be more in the field, on construction sites, or are you gonna be doing not accounting per se, but are you gonna be doing office work? Trying to.
I would say, as far as the trial run, I will be mostly doing like making sure everything is like clean, and maybe if there's any like physical work, like things need to be broken down, then, or like heavy lifting and stuff like that. And eventually, as I gain more experience, they'll have me try to test out their machines, like how they create metals. Like, for example, the ones they're most popular for are O-rings, if you've ever heard of those.
Yes.
So that's one of the primary things they make. They make like certain metal shapes and ship them to certain businesses. Like, I know, I know a good example that my dad shared was that O-rings can be used in like buoys that they, and then there's also like certain metal shapes that they could use as stabilizing like supports in certain engine compartments. So,
yeah. And isn't like a buoy? Isn't that a
to put it simply, it's basically a solid thing that bobs on the top of on top of water.
Yeah.
And basically sometimes they use that as like, you know, like when you're out in the ocean, like you see those like or like orange like balls that sort of like that indicates you can't go past that line. That's that's what they are.
Oh, okay. Yes. Like I imagine that when we go to when the group goes to Sandusky in later July, that will where it will be lit by Lake Sandusky. That will probably that we probably could see a couple.
Remind me again. Where is Sandusky?
Remember where Cedar Point is?
Yes, I do know that.
So Cedar Point is where Sandusky is.
So it's in like that same area.
Yes. Yeah. And as you know, Cedar Point is kind of like off of the shore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Makes me wonder, how do they make a theme park in the middle of a lake? But I guess they just had enough land to work with, and because it is a lake, it's not like the water levels are gonna like rise like the ocean does.
Rise, Autobots, rise.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, randomly switching topics. For those of you who are Autobot fans, there's going to be a Transformers or BotCon is actually next weekend. That's going to be at the that's going to be at the Grand Wayne Center. I almost said the Coliseum, but it's going to be at the Grand Wayne Center. So I definitely think that me and a friend will probably head out there either Friday or Saturday, because I know they're open Friday through Sunday. So remember, not this Sunday, but next Sunday is Father's Day. So make sure that you get your papa a card.
Yay.
For Father's Day. Reading comments, Aaron said, well, actually, first of all, I want to go back to Joey. Joey says, hi, guys. You two are doing a great job. I give that a thumbs up. Thank you, Joey. Aaron said, happy Friday. Of course, it is Friday, so we want to thank you for saying that. And randomly just said, my favorite shape is a shape of pizza when it's so good and crusty.
Did you get the special pizza from down south? Do you get the joke?
Bada boom. He is down south.
Yeah.
It's better to go down south than up south.
Yeah.
So, but randomly, I guess talking about pizza, since we're talking about pizza now, my favorite crust is stuffed crust. What's your favorite kind of crust?
I don't really know if I have a specific favorite, but I guess I do like when when the pizza crust has a bit of like garlic seasoning on it.
Oh yes,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Like or even or actually, yeah, you're thinking of the Papa John's garlic butter. Oh, that's that's delicious. Like, when we come back, we're going to talk about your Among Us, get together, which is going to be taking place this weekend, and we're going to dive into some details about how to play the game, because I've never played the game, and so stay put, everyone, and if you guys want to ask us questions while we're here, feel free to type in the chat on Facebook Live. You can also, at a later time when this is put on YouTube Live, or just YouTube, you can ask us, you can comment below, and we'll go ahead and dive into those. So let's take a break. Let's take a breather. We're going to come back in a couple minutes. We're going to talk about Will's short get together here on Spectrum 22.9. For those of you listening on the stream, though, here it comes, Beastie Boys. Okay, all right, you guys should be able to hear us again. So yeah, and just so you guys know, if this is if YouTube catches this, it will probably be cut out of the final cut. But yeah. So yeah, welcome to our Facebook Live. We're catching up with some comments. So yeah. But yeah, so do you want to? I'm gonna work on this while we're chatting. But do you want to? So you want to talk about Among Us, right?
Yeah, for when we go live again on the actual broadcast. Which actually, this does give me the question, because I've never knew about this or not, and that is if Among Us does like cross play across different mobile devices.
Yeah.
Which I'm not 100% sure about that, so
yeah.
Because I don't know if you have the game already.
I do not. Yeah.
Because basically what I would do is I would create my own lobby, and it would look sort of like this, pretty much.
Okay.
And basically there would be a code that you guys would type in that would bring me to my server.
Okay.
I'm just not 100% sure if the cross play plays with all devices, which I believe it does, but I've never tested it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Let me see. Let me see if I can get this. Alright, we're gonna test something out, y'all. So you can still hear us, but I just want to see how this.
I'm actually gonna look this up.
Okay. Right. Oh, you're right. There we go. Okay. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Come on. Okay.
Okay, so a bit of good news. It does confirm you can cross-platform on the game.
Okay.
So, at least as far as this says, from MSN.com,
Yeah.
so it pretty much says you can play with gamers on pretty much all platforms.
Okay.
So,
All right.
that sounds like a good thing. And I'm assuming the reason why you would play it on your computer, so at the same time you would also have Jake on Discord, so you can
Yes.
do both at the same time.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is your arm.
Yes. Yes. That is my arm. Hello, everyone. Yeah. So. But yeah. Let's see. All right. Let me talk this over. Do. Okay. So almost. Is this it?
Yes, that is it.
Yes, Aaron. It's kind of like Zoom.
I'm trying to remember if maybe the game is on like Steam or something. I don't know all the options on a computer.
Yeah. Alright. Steam. It's only $2.99.
It is I think it is on like the older side. Let me actually see when the game first came out.
So yeah, is this it then?
Among Us, yeah.
Okay.
That is it. Let me actually see when it came out. But yeah, the game does have pretty high reviews, especially on IGN, a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
So, when did it come out? It came out on June 15th of 2018. So, this game is almost 7 years old.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I got on my card. Oh, there we go. Alright, just go. Actually, wait a minute. I'll just open up. If I can just get it on Steam. Then, yeah. Alright, we're gonna come back here, guys, in a minute. But. So, alright, I'm just gonna do this live. Alright. Okay. Alright, y'all. Hang on.
The following is a special presentation of the Spectrum 23.9.
All right, guys, we're back here live on Spectrum 23.9 and also Facebook Live. If you guys miss any of this, of course, it will be broadcast or it will be uploaded on YouTube. And don't mind me, guys. I'm actually doing something on the spot. I got my laptop working. Right, I got my laptop open. And I found the game on Steam. And if you guys, do you know what Steam is?
I'm guessing it's like the sort of the app store of computers.
So kinda, yes. So it's the app store for gamers.
For gamers.
Yes. Or like, yeah. So Yeah. So currently I have, currently I have Pal World, which is kind of, I'm just gonna say it. It's like a better version of, I can't even think of the game. It's not Fortnite, but actually, this is way better than Fortnite. That's all. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it at that because I'm forgetting the one game I really wanted to specify. But yeah, it's definitely better than Fortnite. But yeah, Pal World is on. I have Pal World. Also Air Mech. Which we were just talking about this last week. But the Air Mech book that I brought in, that's basically kind of based off the story of Air Mechs and Warhammers and all that stuff. But again, you guys can chime in on Facebook Live if you guys want to share your favorite Steam game, or just game in general, I guess. But yeah. So, and I might have deleted it, but I think I did delete it. But I did have the Murder of Sonic, which is kind of like a story / role playing game. So it's just kind of like it doesn't take up much space. But yeah, it's basically I found it, and this is good for anyone else to know. But I found it on Steam right now. Sweet, and I saved it to my cart. It's on sale now for. Oh wait, that's my other one. So let me search my notes on here now. I found it on sale for $2.99. That's a lot better than $9.99. So I'm going to purchase it now. So it's all ready for me to get for tomorrow. But yeah, tomorrow on Discord, if you guys follow us on Discord, we're going to have kind of a live stream of Among Us, which I guess since I don't really know the game, what do you think? Would you feel more comfortable playing Among Us still on your phone, or would you want to play it on my computer?
I would just play it with my phone, just because I'm just more used to it, and I don't really have my own computers. So,
yeah.
And because it is your computer, you know how to manage it better, and as well as with the Discord server.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm only paying $3.20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go and purchase that.
It's definitely a deal, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like that was fast. And I didn't even get a fraud alert this time.
A fraud alert?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes I will get fraud alerts for like the dumbest things. Like for example, yesterday morning, Kaden and I went to First Watch, and it's first of all it's very, very cheap. I really, really like brunch and breakfast food, especially when I haven't really eaten in the morning yet. But it's very, very good. It's very good. I would definitely recommend it. And I cannot tell if this is installing or not, but
I think. It's already there.
Among Us. So
Yee.
Okay, so yee. So I'm gonna go and just open this up right now. Okay, Interstander Sloth.
I think they're. I think they're part of the people that made the company.
Yeah.
Or at least the game. They were involved in it. Oh, you have to do some, like.
Oh, age verification.
Yeah, it's not that difficult.
I am of age. Okay, that's just all you guys need to know. I'm of age.
Yeah.
May 27th, 1986.
I mean, there is no exact like age restriction to this game. It is like a game for everybody. of
Yes.
all ages.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Sign in or create. Okay, why does it only say sign in? It doesn't allow me to create an account. But
You
okay. I guess
you
you
signed in that moment.
Oh, okay.
I think you can just randomly create one.
If it'll even let me type this.
Maybe here, press that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it just chooses it for you.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
You mean I can't type my own code?
I don't know. Maybe they do that for safety reasons.
I'm sure they probably do. For those of you who follow us on Facebook Live, obviously I can I'm doing this on my laptop, so I can't really stream what I'm doing, but
It's also funny to know that in this room there are exactly 7 different screens in front of us. There's 4 computers, 2 phones, and 1 TV screen.
yes. Yeah. 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 I guess I'm just going to park one here.
Yeah, probably maybe best to just maybe take a photo of it so you don't forget it, just in case.
Oh, okay. This is kind of a funny name. I guess this will be my friend code. If anyone, if we end up doing this outside of success. So okay, yeah.
So those are just things
yeah,
to read.
You
can just exit out of them.
Okay. All right.
So
so the point. Also, actually, never mind. I was not going to ask that question. Oh, there we go. There's my.
Now
Yeah. Okay.
Now there is also a thing where I'm not sure where. I think if you find your account, your account on the
my account right here.
yeah, you can actually make a real name for yourself, like a change name.
Okay.
So there you can actually
Oh, okay. I'm going to name myself Graham Cracker.
I think
apparently they don't.
maybe
Graham Crack?
maybe Grammy.
Yeah. Grammy. Yeah, I like that. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm now
And
officially Grammy.
Yeah. And
So
and I guess the reason for that is when we do play the game, it's easy for us to identify who's who.
yeah.
So, because my name is just Will, and my character is blue, and I wear a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I'm just going to mention this to anyone that might be listening that's a part of our group that wants to play Among Us with us tomorrow night at Will's house. It's right now only $2.99 on Steam. Now, granted, if you have an I mean, to simplify things, I'm just going to say, have a computer or play it on your phone.
that or if you do have a Switch, PlayStation, or Xbox, you can play it on there. You would just have to have your computer next to you, just so you can talk through it, because the game does allow cross playthrough. In fact, to test it out, I could actually
Okay, all right.
basically what I'll do is I'll create a lobby, and then you can just join it. So
Yeah.
So
Yep. Don't mind us, everyone. We're just doing this live on the spot.
better late than never.
Yeah. Okay, here's a random question, because I know I have viewers on Facebook Live. What is a game, whether it be mobile or mobile on your Switch or on your computer? What's the game that you really like to play?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to try this out
And then you go to online,
online.
and then
Find game.
and enter code,
Okay.
and then this is it.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to say it out loud.
No. Which, by the way, I will probably show up.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Will.
Yep, and then you just
join game,
and then we'll see how that works.
Okay.
Yep, it worked. Perfect.
Apparently, I'm on a spaceship.
Yep.
I'm on a space shuttle.
This is a shuttle, so.
Yeah.
I also noticed your screen is a lot bigger than mine.
Yes.
Mine is more zoomed out.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing they do that on purpose for the
yeah.
computer because
Yeah.
it is a bigger screen. They can afford more space with it zoomed in.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a good thing to know that.
So so normally
now
okay.
Yeah. And usually you do need like a certain amount of players to do one game.
Yeah.
So I think it's a minimum of like 4 people can start a game, and we obviously have enough for that. So yeah. So I'm just gonna leave the game.
Okay.
And then boom, you leave the game by pressing that little icon.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So yeah, it looks like
all right.
Looks like we got that figured out.
Okay,
So
all right.
yep.
Okay. All right. Okay.
The game works across every single kind of device.
Yes. Yeah. Or like and you know and I did see that it's on I did see that it's on the Switch, on PlayStation, on Xbox. So really that way anyone that wants to join us from their Xbox or or the PlayStation or whatever, you know,
the only real thing to be concerned about is if it's anything that's like mobile, like a computer or phone, then it's best to have your charger with you because you're gonna need it just so you don't need to worry about things dying on you. An Xbox or a PlayStation, they don't really die on you. Maybe your controller does, but you can manage that by having a fresh set of batteries.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I can successfully say that I do have one more game on my non-gaming laptop, but I am curious to see how much space I have on my computer now. But yeah, in case if you guys were living under a rock this last segment, basically Will's gonna be hosting a Among Us get together, which I'll be hosting on Discord in our for our group. Now here's the $1 million question: should I bring both of these cameras? So we can kind of. Well, actually, I guess not, because I mean, I really wish they were wireless, because if they were wireless, we can put them anywhere.
Yeah.
But it pretty much has. I mean, these modules basically have to stay with or near one of the screens. But eventually when we get to another another screen, or not the step up model of basically this camera, we basically put them anywhere.
Yeah.
So that might be fun to kind of bring sometime.
Yeah. Sometime.
Yeah. But yeah. So we're just going to just bring just basically play Among Us, and I guess we'll stream everything from my device. So
yeah, you can see at least John's perspective.
Yeah.
You probably won't see everyone's perspective, but what you will at least hear, I guess, because I think that like if you talk through your computer, can the computer hear your voice, like kind of like a microphone?
On Discord, yes.
Then that would be beneficial, because basically how it would work as far as the people that are in person in the same room, basically I can share this bit of information. Basically, we would all be in one place. We'll be in like a circle. There'll be different chairs. And basically, when we're playing, anybody that gets killed, they have to stay in their seat and they can't talk. but they're not necessarily out of the game, because if you get killed, you become a ghost.
Yeah.
And as a ghost, you can still complete your tasks that you didn't complete during the game, because that's how you win the game. You complete all your tasks with enough people alive. And as far as what us in person will do, if somebody dies in the game and somebody finds their body, a meeting will be called, and that's where all of the living people stand up from their chairs and share the information that they know, and we come to a conclusion of, do we just skip on a vote, or do we know that guy's the murderer, we need to vote him out? So those are the two ways you can win. You can win by getting all your tasks done, or 2, by voting off the imposter, which, given the amount of people there is at the moment, there's probably going to be just one imposter. If there's like between like 6 or 7 people, there'll just be one imposter. But if it was like 10 people, there would be 2 imposters. So yeah, and each meeting itself, it will last. The meeting itself will last 2 minutes, and the voting time will last for 1 minute. So 3 minutes total that we get to talk. So yeah,
all right,
So that's not all of the rules. That's just like the main one. Of like, but there are other things which I'll talk about. So
all right. Catching up with comments here on Facebook Live and this, on our stream. Aaron responded to our question. He said, I would say Yahtzee with buddies. So I honestly think, basically like Jackbox.
It's basically like Jack in a Box XXX John Graham.
Yes, yeah. I've
how many X's do you have, Aaron?
That's funny on so many ways, but I can't explain why. I cannot explain why. And mind you, that came from Will. So, Will, definitely gotta give you shaking your hand for that. But I don't really know what he means by Jack in the Box. But I do know what Will means by how many X's you have in one setting. So, but yeah, that's kind of funny in so many ways. I think we do have, but yeah. So, but yeah. So, Among Us is $2.99 right now on Steam, and I would probably assume elsewhere on Xbox.
Yeah, it said it's available on all like gaming devices.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah, I'm just can't get over that comment. But oh, I do realize we're kind of a little bit in the red, so I'm going to turn down the master volume here so we don't blow your ears out. But yeah, and I will be bringing Cards Against Humanity, so we can also play that kind of in between rounds, maybe perhaps while we wait for Jake to get off of work. Because and I did just buy an expansion pack today. So
expansion pack.
Yes. For cards.
So
which basically means more cards and more opportunities to offend people.
Yeah, it's basically the adult version of Apples to Apples.
Pretty much.
That is the best way we can sell it in a nice manner.
Yes, yeah, and basically a radio friendly manner.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think so far, Cards Against Humanity is probably definitely one of my favorite.
Yeah, I think it, to me, even though I've only played it a few times, I think it is like a very funny game, especially because I've watched like other YouTubers play it, and it always tends to be hilarious. So
yeah. Now, my favorite game to play online would probably say vintage story. It's probably my favorite game to play online now.
Probably for me right now, I mean, at least right now at the moment, probably my favorite game is Minecraft, just because it's one of the most chill games you can play. Like, it's a game where you can just do whatever and nothing will exactly go wrong, or at least if it does go wrong, you're not going to get mad about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, basically where nothing can go wrong. And also, I found like if you play in first of all, if you play in creative mode, nothing will go wrong.
Except for like maybe your internet cuts out, but that's
true.
As long as you have good internet, you won't have any issues.
Yeah. Which I was we had put in I had to watch a YouTube video of this creator that had mentioned that I think he was either in Vintage Story or Minecraft for 27 hours, and he basically had a mod on. But basically, I think his internet cut out or something happened with his computer. So basically, he literally. So, I mean, if I remember correctly, he woke up like at 4 a.m, or it was like one of those like bizarre times, and he saw on his computer that a elder. Am I saying it right?
An elderly person?
No. In Minecraft.
An elder in Minecraft. I think like the elder guardians in the ocean. I know what those are. Basically one of them were basically about to knock him out. And if he didn't wake up at that weird time, like at 4 a.m. to see what was going on in his game, which again, he could have like lost everything that he built, and I think his end game was basically he wanted to have a lot of a lot of something, which does come to that question of like you only find elder guardians at ocean monuments in the ocean, and it's like, what was he doing sleeping during while being underwater in a video game? Right. Like, what was he doing beforehand that led to that moment?
Yeah, for sure. So, trying to think, what else do we want to cover?
I guess there is this question I do have for you.
Okay.
And that is, what is your first impressions of this game night that I'm doing for everyone?
So first of all, I really hope that it goes well. Because it's exciting to kind of focus like on one game versus many, in recent past when we've done like Switch games and Wii games, and a kind of like a PlayStation setup, I think it's gonna be very chill.
Yeah.
And I know we've done kind of something similar with Werewolf, where we did a Werewolf night. Now, at the same time too, I know that we also had opportunities for other people to play other games. Like I remember that. Actually, I'm going to look this up really quick. But what are your thoughts on it?
I think overall, as long as like everyone just follows like the rules and all that and just understand at least the basics of what to do, then I think everything will go pretty smoothly. The worst thing that could happen as far as just experience with like seeing it on like YouTube is like if people are getting accused, they could like get into arguments like I'm not the imposter, he's the imposter, and like that kind of back and forth kind of stuff. But that's about the most that would probably happen, which for us it's highly unlikely, because you can't really think intelligently if you're thinking irrationally, if that makes sense.
It does.
Because that is the biggest thing about this game, especially with all of us in one room. Like, we can't hide anything from each other.
No.
We're looking each other straight in the face, trying to say to ourselves, are you the imposter? We're trying to break you down. So that's kind of what's going to make it fun, is with us being there in person, it'll be a big mental game, which if you're doing it behind a computer screen, it kind of wouldn't be. So and that's the other additional thing, is with all of us together doing it, it kind of ensures we're all doing the same thing at one time, because at other game nights, we often would have like certain groups of people will want to do this instead of that. With this, because we have one main option and we only have secondary options if it becomes too much, it's like, you know what? I want to take a break from this and do this. So,
because I know your event starts at what, 5?
It plans to start no later than 5, but if everybody arrives before that, then we're always welcome to start early. Because I know that there are some people that live out further than others, so the time frame to get there might be shorter or longer for others. So,
but I mean, like, I'm personally excited to learn something new, and I know too that it'll be interesting to see who is the blunt, honest autistics in our group, rather than the ones that can just be narcissistic and just like hide.
It kind of will show you like how good somebody is at lying. Like because I know that you can't lie to your parents, obviously, because they know you. But with us, we can't really tell who's lying, because we don't know each other as much as our parents do. But and I mean, my parents, like, they, and again, like everyone else, like, I'm sure, like, there has been times when we've all lied to our parents, and I have lied to my parents, when I was younger, it's what families do sometimes, but I mean, they've, like, we kind of like joke around like that there's an obvious tell when I lie. So and again, I don't really know like how invested like I'm going to be in each round. I really think that I definitely think that everyone's going to be different the first round. Like for me, I'm probably gonna definitely kind of like experience it, like, kind of like how it is, and honestly, I might end up bringing these cameras, because they are such a great quality, or at least maybe one camera. Because we're all gonna be in just one place. So but my thoughts are that we would probably play a couple rounds before we take a break. And it does depend on like how fast the games go by, because what I was thinking was if the games are long, we might only do one map 2 times, but if the games go by fast, we'll do 3 games in each map. And there are 5 maps, but probably only 3 of them are probably suitable for our game group, because 3 maps in particular, they are kind of size appropriate. Like, they're not too big that you can't, like, not do things. Like, the first original 3 are the ones where you can, like, roam around and say, okay, yeah, this is how I get to there and that. So
Yeah.
So at most, we might end up playing, like, 9, like, serious games. But, again, it depends on how long they last and also how long everyone wants to play. But that's kind of at least the minimum versus the maximum.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like well, and honestly, as a like as someone that's open to different ideas, I definitely want to kind of be open to different options, that everyone everyone can do, because obviously we want everyone to be included, regardless of whatever past they might have, but yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. I'm definitely excited to kind of see how this all plays out.
Yeah, because isn't this going to be the first time that like the group has done this sort of thing?
Yeah. With the exception of maybe you and Caden, I think you guys probably, and Jake, I think the 3 of you probably have more experience with Among Us, and it'll be it'll be interesting to see who else that actually signed up for it, for this event, are actually going to be invested in it, and how good they're going to be at it. So there's definitely going to be an advantage and disadvantage for, I feel like, everyone.
Yeah, but it's always going to be random. Like, no one's gonna know who's gonna get what in the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I remember back in the day, I was a big Survivor fan. Like, I would always watch every season, and I kind of still do, but I've honestly kind of fallen off the seasons. But one of my friends at the time, we would there's basically live role playing games of Survivor. Which, are you familiar with the reality show on CBS of Survivor?
I don't think I've watched that show in particular, but I have seen other survival shows like Dual Survival and Man vs. Wild, but I kind of stopped watching those when they stopped creating new episodes. So nowadays, the main show I still like to listen to that still make new episodes is Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
So
but anyways, so that's really kind of everything in a nutshell, about Among Us, that we are going to, that we're hoping, will be a great success. I know I'm excited for it. So, so again, that's what we got going on, tomorrow. So this is really kind of what the show's about. It's basically just talking about just random topics, every week. But yeah, we hope that you guys have a great weekend. And don't forget to like us and subscribe on YouTube, which I know I always post this on the Spectrum and my own personal Facebook pages. So make sure that you follow us on there. So without any further ado, do you have Will, do you have anything that you would like to add?
I guess the main thing I'd like to say is just stay safe, stay indoors until the air gets better. And other than that, I hope you all have a great weekend.
All right, so that's going to do it for all of us here at Spectrum 22.9 for tonight's broadcast of Amplifying Voices. We're going to sign off here, and we're going to do the cool sign off here on you guys for YouTube. Bye. So And I probably should actually, make that sleep too, since I have 2 devices now. So, but yeah, for those of you listening on the stream, keep on tuned in, and we'll see you next week right here on Spectrum 23.9.